I have two dogs, and they love to go for walks. So every day I take them out for a walk. About a block away is an old neighborhood with majestic oak and elm trees and lots of gray squirrels. So when I take my dogs for a walk, I get aerobic workout. You see, my dogs, when they spot those gray squirrels, take off running, and I'm right behind. My aerobic workout. I noticed though a couple years ago, I just wasn't getting the same aerobic workout that I used to. And so I stopped to figure out why. And as I looked around, I noticed there were these new kind of squirrels. They were flat as a pancake, and they had tire tracks down their back. They looked a lot like this. Now, these flat as a pancake squirrels were much easier for my dogs to catch, and thus my aerobic workout was gone. I decided to see if I could revitalize them a little. So I picked up one of the squirrels, but it hung just like this. So I thought, well, maybe I can resuscitate it. So I took a big breath and I blew into that squirrel's mouth. Well, it popped up, but then it went flat again. Something needed to be done, but I wasn't sure what. Well, the next day when I was at home doing some work on my computer, a YouTube video popped up for me to watch. It was about somebody who had a pet squirrel. So that made me start to think, if people have pet squirrels, then that means squirrels are trainable. And if squirrels are trainable, I hopped into my car and I drove down to City Hall to find out when the next city council meeting was, which was just a week away. So I signed up to be a speaker at that meeting. And then I spent the next week doing research. When the meeting came up and it was my turn to speak, I said, fellow citizens, we have a problem in our town. Us dog walkers, we no longer are getting our aerobic workouts. There are now these flat as a pancake squirrels, and it's just not right. Something needs to be done. Well, the mayor, he looked at me and he said, well, what do you suppose we should do? And I said, I'm glad you asked. We need to form a squirrel crossing guard program. We get the squirrels to volunteer, and those that volunteer would sit in the upper branches of the trees. And when a squirrel wanted to cross the road, the crossing guard squirrel would just drop down, hold up its stop sign, and beckon the other squirrels across the road. It wouldn't cost the city much at all. Just these yellow outfits, which can be gotten for $9.99 on Amazon. The stop signs are free. And we to pay the squirrels, because we wouldn't need to pay them. We could set up a nut locker in town. And the squirrel, after it works a shift, just goes to the nut locker, puts his little nose right on up to the screen, and would receive an allotment of nuts for their work. Well, the mayor, he looked at me and he said, well, who would train the squirrels? I will. And you wouldn't have to pay anything, I told the man. Well, the city council talked about it, they agreed to let
Okay,
me
I found this on the web that the city council talked about. Check it out.
Well, I figured the first thing that I would do is to call a meeting of all the squirrels in town. And so I did. And the squirrels all showed up. We had it at the city park. And I explained to the squirrels my program. They were nodding their heads and shaking their paws. They loved that idea. Now I see of you looking at me, going, she doesn't speak squirrel. I know, Christine. And you're right. I don't speak squirrel. But there's this new app for phones called Google Translate. And all I had to do was type in what I wanted to tell the squirrels, and my phone told them for me. This worked great until some squirrels had questions. And squirrels, they don't have opposable thumbs. So it was quite tricky to get their questions figured out. But we managed. Many squirrels signed up to be crossing guards. I took their nest addresses and promised that as soon as the outfits came in, I would deliver them with the schedule to their nest. About a week passed. The uniforms came in. I made up an Excel spreadsheet for the squirrels, and I delivered them. Within a couple weeks, those flat as a pancake squirrels were just about gone. As you were driving through town, if you came upon a road, you might see a squirrel drop down in the crossing guard outfit and beckon a squirrel across. And so, my plan was working. The flat as a pancake squirrels were gone. Everything was beautiful until, about a month or two into the program, one of the squirrels named Henri, he came and talked to me. He wanted to be paid before he worked. And I told Henri, that's just not a possibility. You have to work to be paid. Well, Henri did not like that. And you should hear what there's some children under age 13 here. So since this is a PG program, I can't repeat what this squirrel said, but it was none too nice. I told Henri that there are plenty of nuts in the trees. If he is hungry, just go gather some nuts. Well, that made Henri even more angry. And he then said to me, we should have Social Security nuts too. I just laughed and I walked away, which was a mistake. Within a week, Henri had organized all the squirrels in town. And as you were driving around, you saw these little squirrels with picket signs that said, Social Security nuts for squirrels. Soon, the whole crossing guard program fell to the wayside. And those flat as pancake squirrels, they're back. But fortunately, squirrels are pretty prolific. And there are still some gray squirrels left for my dogs to chase. Just goes to show you, there's politics in everything. Thank you.